June is Pride Month, and the Detroit City Football Club is once again giving back with its annual Pride Raiser.
For every goal DCFC scores at home this month, supporters pledge money that is donated to the Ruth Ellis Center to support local LGBTQ+ youth.
Joining us now to talk about the effort is Dean P. Simmer, DCFC supporter and the Pride Raiser co-founder. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you. So first, tell us about the organization and how it grew to this point.
For sure. It was June 1st, 2017, and a friend of mine down in Chattanooga, Galen, and I were, ranting on social media and had a conversation about trying to do something good. We were both very active in the supporter sections of our clubs, so we challenged each other to pledge and do some giving back to the LGBTQ community, local for each of us. So within a few days, we had friends saying, how do we do this? We want to do this too. And I think that first year we ended up with 7 supporter groups around the Midwest and in Tennessee. And now here we are in 2024 with about 100 campaigns running in the US and Canada. So it's all soccer supporter driven, and it's really about coming together and tying soccer and the LGBTQ community together.
Yeah, is that typically two communities that are tied together?
Anecdotally, we've heard a lot of stories of folks from within the community saying, I've had very different experiences in sports, and I'm not sure that was my first thought of where I would go to be a welcomed and inclusive environment. And yet, this is really changing that narrative. And I think for the soccer supporters' perspective, for so many folks, it's also introducing them to something wider and really important work that's happening in their community, folks that live and work and play in their community. And so it's been a fascinating way to bridge gaps and bridge divides, I think.
Yeah, so it's almost like this is a welcoming to that community to come enjoy these soccer games and continue to support the team.
Exactly. And it kind of works both ways, right? We've seen a lot of, over the years, where the soccer supporters become very involved in that organization as well. And it becomes a very 12-month relationship. And when you think about DCFC, right, the season starts in March or April and runs to October. So even though Pride Raiser, Pride Month is June, it's a long season. And so the more that that experience can happen year-round, both as fans and giving back to the organizations are really important.
Yeah, for those who don't know, what does the Ruth Ellis Center do, and why did you choose the center?
For sure. So Ruth Ellis Center is in its 25th year. Ruth Ellis Center is really focused on youth and young people of color in the LGBTQ community in Detroit. And so it's trauma-informed social services. So you've got everything from housing and healthcare, things like job support, job placement, and things like that. So many folks within our community who might be homeless or in this transitory phase of life, and they need that support. So that's what Ruth Ellis Center does. And so it's really fun to support such an important organization and work with a club like DCFC, who is so welcoming and inclusive and provides a platform to tell that story. So we've had the Ruth Ellis Center youth come out and do a halftime performance before at a game during Pride Month and really continue to, again, solidify and strengthen the community and what that means for everyone.
What are some of the ways that people can support both groups throughout the year?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now during Pride Raiser Month, if you go to prideraiser.org, you will see the local campaigns and you can click through and pledge. And so it's a pledge per goal model. You've probably done that as a kid for bowling pins or running or something like that. So you pledge for the goals that DCFC scores in the month of June, and at the end of the month, you'll be invited to make your donation. So that's like a very Pride Raiser Month moment. Additionally, like Ruth Ellis Center has Catfight for the Crown, which is a big fundraiser event that they have coming up next on the 15th. So real soon, really exciting event downtown. And so there's things like that you can get involved with. And I would also say, invite folks to get involved in the DCFC community. There's a lot of things like the Northern Garden Supporters, NGS Cares, that is really involved in supporting organization partners year-round. And so there's a lot of ways, but we'd love to invite you to check out prideraiser.org for sure.
All right, well, thank you for everything you're doing and for coming by today to tell us about it.
Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Dean P. Simmer, DCFC supporter and Pride Raiser co-founder.
And we've got 2 DCFC games to bring you this Saturday. Both the men's and women's team will be in action. First, the women are on an FC in Ann Arbor game that's happening, and also the games at 4 p.m. will be streaming on cbsdetroit.com.
And at 7:30 on Saturday night, make sure to check out the men's team as they travel out east to take on Rhode Island FC in the USL Championship. You can see it all for free on Detroit 50, or you can stream it on cbsdetroit.com.